If you are seeing this right now, Spirit has been trying to reach out to you. The veil has been very thin in the past few days. I had the most incredible spiritual experience last night at exactly 1 a.m. Once I finished my previous reading, I got done, I was cleaning up, I blew out the candle that I have right here that I always light in honor of Spirit. And I light some sage for Spirit as well, just for some smudge. Here, have some smudge, have some smudge. And as I was wrapping up and putting all my cards back from the individual piles, the light that I keep on right there started to blink. Now, you wouldn't know this, but I have an agreement with my spirit guides that there are certain signs that I know that are from them. One of them, we've always agreed, is blinking lights. So I see angel numbers from them, I'll see blinking lights, I see spiders, and all sorts of other things which I'll go over. But last night, upon wrapping up, out loud I went, "Thank you, Spirit, thank you for everything." And the light blinked, it faded a bit and came back. And I was like, "Oh, you're so sweet, thank you. Is this you telling me that you're here with me?" And then a second later, it blinked down and came back. And I said, "I knew it. I mean, you don't have to tell me that. I mean, I'm aware of that. It's so clear that you're with me and everything. Thank you." And then it blinked a few more times. And then after a few more seconds, the light went out. It was like a conversation between me and Spirit, and it was unlike anything I've ever had before. We exchanged words, we talked directly. I mean, and it was crazy too, because last night was a night that I specifically prayed to my friend who's passed on to the other side. Her name was Kat. And this morning, I was pulled to tell you about not only this story, but about all the ways that the veil has thinned in the past few days. So listen to this, and maybe you will have seen one of these as well. I saw strange chemtrails in the sky yesterday going in opposite directions. It was very bizarre. And then today, as I was driving home from the dentist, I looked up and I saw a huge trail of geese flying in the sky in an angle, in the way that they do as they move as a group. You wouldn't know this again, but my spirit guides this month, we've agreed birds are, I've been told by many online psychics, and I, from my own experience, have noticed that birds are really present this month. I saw the group of the geese flying, and among them was a hawk. I stopped, I laughed for a second because I said, "What is a hawk doing moonlighting as a goose?" And then I realized, you're the hawk. If you're watching this, you are the hawk. Does that make sense? You are moonlighting as a normal person. When you are a spiritual being, you are doing the correct thing by taking advantage of what Spirit has given to you, just the natural order as it is. But you're the predator. You're the predator in this group. You might blend in, you might not look so ferocious, but the phrase isn't wolf in sheep's clothing for nothing. That is to say, you are a spiritual wolf in sheep's clothing. I keep getting the feeling that in the past week you've been tried willy-nilly, or shown at least how other people continuously do not do what you do. You stand up for the underdog, you refuse to let nonsense occur around you, you operate with Spirit in mind. Spirit sees everything that you've been doing and the way that you've been honoring. Now, I'm hearing your family, honoring your family and the way, and I think spiritual family, honoring the lineage of reincarnations that you have had for yourself and for your soul, growing each and every time, learning from the mistakes, starting to rise to the occasion when you're tested. I was talking yesterday a bit, and I want to reintroduce this idea of the difference between confrontational and direct. People in this day and age have confused the two. We are not having the conducive conversations that we need to be having. People aren't telling you the thing that the constructive criticism that you need to hear. You're having to interpolate it. I'm hearing. You're having to figure out what it is from the people around you. You're having to take the hint, and that's not easy either, because we have confused ourselves because we think we live in an age where confrontational is direct. Wrong. Wrong. There is a way to offer and make available constructive criticism, especially to the people around you that you need to grow, or when they need you to grow. Both of these things can be true. I think you see the difference, but that's made other people portray you as dangerous, or as, thank you, confirmation, or as angry. Oh, I love that jump to, you are just this, I'm hearing platitude. You are just an angry person because you decide to be direct, because you decide to take the situation on for what it is, head on. Now, I want to talk a bit about how angels, for example, are commonly misconstrued as this little cherub that just sings little choir songs and is so sweet and nice. Angel is often equated with sweet and nice. Let's talk about the Archangel Michael for a second. The Archangel Michael is depicted with sword and shield. He is depicted as the right hand of God and slayer of demons. He went into, in the Bible, he went into the fires of hell. Hell does not exist, but we'll get into that on a different day. Into the fires of hell when Jesus was on earth and the gates of heaven were closed, and all the souls that had died during that time had bounced off the gates of heaven. He went into hell and picked them up and took them out and fought off the demons hanging on to their feet. There are paintings of this, people. And that is a metaphor for you. You are an avenging angel. Angels are all of those things. They are soft, they are sweet, they are caring, they are nurturing, they fight for good, but they are also wrathful, and they are correct, and they are they are. Don't get me mad. I hate that imagery that angels are these roll-over, sweet cherub, blonde-haired beings. No. They're God's fighters. They're God's army. They're God's warriors. They're the ones in the front lines of battle. How soft and sweet was Joan of Arc? And look at her. She's considered Saint Joan the martyr. She was portrayed, and look at the way that the people portrayed her. Look at the way Shakespeare portrayed her in the Henrys, as this confused, swearing that she knew something more that other people didn't figure. History will tell the truth about you. That's what I'm hearing. You might not be proven right tomorrow. You might not be proven right the day after that. But the day will come. I'm hearing spin the block, and people will spin the block about it. Oh, I bet you hate hearing that. You were right. You were right. Well, I mean, does anyone really hate hearing you were right? But I'm sure at this point it actually kind of frustrates you, because you wish people would just take you when you say it the first time. When you make the constructive criticism the first time, when you told them the truth the first time. But these people are going to have to learn in their own lives. Does that make sense? These geese that you fly amongst, use them for what they are worth, and do not let them affect your own self-worth. Does a hawk let geese tell the hawk what to do? I was watching this video earlier. I know this is exactly on time. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Oh my God, Spirit's so clear with me. I was watching a video earlier today. It came up totally unwarranted on my YouTube timeline under shorts. And it was a video of a grown a chicken, sitting on the eggs of ducks. It was an amalgamation of not only her own eggs, but duck eggs and some others. And the owner of the chicken came up and was like, "What are you doing with this white baby?" Picked up this little baby chicklet duck, this little yellow duck, and is like, "Now, how how did you get here? That's the situation with you. Do you understand? You have been among chicken. You're the duck among chicken. And just like how a chicken mother would scream when a duckling tries to swim for the first time, just like that, she's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" You know at a certain point you outpace and differ from these other people. You are in your own lane, whether it be in spirituality or in business or in self-actualization. I'm hearing whether you have been taking that time to yourself in that hermitage because you know that the drama is just not worth it when other people are involved. Whatever the case may be, you are the hawk among geese. You are the swimming duck among drowning chicken. That is not an insult to other people. It is just a biological difference in your markup. You might even be my star seed group. I really feel like this might be my group. This might be your first or second or even third timeline on Earth, but you've been on other planets, and this is a tough planet to reincarnate on. What you know about that? What you know about Dr. Michael Newton, Journey of Souls? This book, let me talk to you about this book for a second. And Dr. Michael Newton, put some respect on Dr. Michael Newton. He is a board certified psychologist, and he would regress his patients into hypnosis and ask them questions. He would regress them through their life, back into childhood, back into their mother's womb, and into the spirit world, and ask them questions about the spirit world. He has had over 60 cases. Brilliant book. Absolutely would recommend. And in the book, they acknowledge that there are other life planets that Spirit is working on. This is one iteration. There are a group of souls with higher minded thinking that get chosen for those individual planets. Welcome to Earth, is what I'm hearing. Welcome to Earth. This is a tough one. Yes, the people around, we are, as a society, we are progressing and regressing, I'm hearing. We go forward a bit, we go backward a bit. You have been sent to help raise this vibration amongst others. So if you have moments you say, I feel weird here. People don't understand me. My jokes don't make sense. I'm talking to my people on the autism spectrums. You know, you are my people that have been, you in your high soul, your soul, chose a difficult life because you knew the good karma it would reap towards your betterment and towards the planet's betterment. Ooh, thank you, Spirit. Thank you. You knew that this would be a difficult life. Life on Earth is difficult. This is a tough planet. And you chose to do that for the leaps and bounds you could make in your own learning experience as a higher minded being. You know, there is acknowledgement in this book that even in your soul family, there are people sometimes that outgrow others or outpace in growth other people. That's all natural. Don't let anyone try to tell you that hierarchical action like that isn't real, because it is. And yes, if you are the hawk among geese, thank you, Spirit. There goes Spirit. If you are the hawk, I've been seeing them everywhere. I couldn't believe it. Hawks at Duncan, hawks. I was like, where are all these hawks coming from? And they are, and that's maybe that's the next cue. Is there are others. There are others just like you. There are more than you think. You might be fooled into thinking because you're around all these geese, you're weird. No. You swim to think that the duck has a whole other world of bird activity that the chicken will never experience in its entire lifetime. They're just different. Does that make sense? And other people need to be shown a little bit of your way, is what I'm hearing. Now that might be frustrating. Again, that might be tough. Listen, God's Strongest Soldier is not my easiest yearbook category nomination. But it's a calling. And it's only because you can handle it and because you karmically signed up for it ahead of time, knowing that you can handle it. I mean, why do you think you're watching this video right now? You've obviously awoken to some aspect of your higher mind itself. Let's be real. There are some people that will never do what you are doing right now in their entire lifetime. That's okay. It's okay that you had the calling when you had it. It's okay things happen the way you had it. Thank you. There goes Spirit again. That things happened exactly the way that they needed to, but I just don't want you to start to act like a goose. Do you understand? All of this goose activity does not mean that the hawk must become a goose. No. No. You're different birds. You have different purposes, different lifetimes, different achievements, different pathways to righteousness, I'm hearing. The sheer idea of a hawk trying to pretend to be a goose. First of all, number one, why? The goose is not better than the hawk. They are just different. Does that make sense? And the second is you will never live to the expectations of being a goose, just like a goose will never be a predator, a true predator like the hawk. No. Your callings are different. And it's okay if you hear the call for spirit and others around you don't. Again, I just don't want you to think you are alone. You are never alone. You have never been alone. You will find like-minded people. I think Spirit is even telling you that in the next few months, you will really be pushed towards like-minded people. Pluto and Uranus is in Aquarius. I know I sound like a broken record, but that is literally upheaval of groups and technology and of like-minded thinking, the collective. The time is now for the upheaval of the previous regime, the previous way of thinking, the previous way of operating, previous modes, etc. The time is now. Aquarius will be the great exposer of the way that our society works and operates. But I need you to think that after Aquarius, the great collective and great hive mind and higher minded thinking, because that's what Uranus and Aquarius are. They rule, especially when they're in together, domicile. When Uranus is in the domicile of Aquarius, we are especially feeling that veil thinning. We are feeling our connections. There go a chemtrail. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, what are you even doing in front of this window? And then a bird. Yeah, Spirit is so tired of me. Aquarius is going to be moving from the next 40 years as Pluto moves through Aquarius for 20 years and then into Pisces for 20 years. We are going to be seeing the collective be given back God. You will be able to connect directly. You won't need organized religion anymore. We will see things for how they are. That people have been made exactly the way that they were meant. That there is magic in this world. I have seen a fairy. I know you're going to think I'm crazy. No, I can hear you clicking off. I'll tell you the whole story. Before I read this book by Dr. Michael Newton, I read a book called How to Awaken Your Inner Psychic. It's by this lifetime psychic. It's really stunningly amazing. Female psychic. You should take a read of that as well. In that book, she details that not only how the outer realms of this world are created, how above us on earth there is heaven, there is the soul place where all souls sort of regather at the end of our lives. Because there is no good or bad in order to cast us into evil. Even evil choices at the end of the day have been made as betterment for the human race and humanity to grow and learn. Look at the way that we have evolved from the apes. We have, and yes, we do believe in humanic evolution here. Yes. Look at the way even our mind, how we've developed morality, how we've developed this case of good and evil, good and bad, so as to keep humans working towards the betterment of good, like as a group, as a collective, as a society, that we would start to agree certain things were never meant for us. For example, pedophilia, just off the head, just off the dome. That's been on my mind a lot lately. I really think that Pluto in Aquarius is going to continue to expose, not to say the ones that slipped through the cracks, but the last remnants that we have of this previous society before us, before we finally break things open and take on into this new society where we see that everything is created exactly the way that it was supposed to be. That gay people are not evil, that they are that way, that it is in nature. We have seen examples of it in other animals, so it is not as though it was invented by humanity. And also, being a trans person. We are going to see, finally, how that is also in nature, how certain other species change their gender as necessary. Don't make me bring up seahorses, don't make me bring them up. And how we as a human society should be able to choose to live our life however we please, as long as it's not hurting anyone. Bottom line. So, back to my point. You are going to experience things that other people have not experienced in their life and will never experience. That doesn't make you weird. It doesn't make you strange. It makes you spiritually tapped in. It means that spirit knows that if it works on you a bit, it's going to get you. Or maybe you're already even there. Maybe you're far enough along that you're seeing this video and that you even have your own code with spirit about how it can speak to you directly. I even have this, thank you, there goes that bird. That's what this wants to be about. That's what this wants to be about. And I saw, even today, earlier, oh my God, I got hit over the head with signs. A spider crawling along my bathtub. This beautiful creature. I love spiders. I think they are so beautiful and they're so gentle. And they protect us. You know, they kill like evil, gross bugs. Sorry, I know bugs are technically part of God's reign as well, but I don't love them in my home. And the spiders not only don't surprise me or freak me out, they take care of things for me. I feel like we party together. We party together. Spiders are also a sign for the great feminine, the divine feminine, Mother Mary. So it really makes me feel in those moments protected and viewed by the Divine Mother. I mean, who has more eyes than a spider? What a beautiful metaphor. But over time, you should develop your own code with spirit. I might sound crazy. It's okay. I'm gonna sound crazy in this moment. You're gonna have to take me. Have you spoken? There goes spirit again. Thank you very much. Spirit's like, you're not crazy. Say it. Have you guys spoken out loud to your spirit and literally said, I want our signs, our code to be this, this, and this? When I see lights blank, I'm going to think of you. When I see the number on the license plate 666, I'm going to think of you. Because by the way, 666 is not a double number. It's so ridiculous. It's just 3 numbers. It's so funny. In fact, it's also a spiritual number. And again, you can assign it with spirit to be whatever you want. 666 is just funny more than anything. Especially when they try to use it in horror movies, it always makes me laugh. I'm like, oh, ooh. See, you see what I'm saying? Where you are the hawk, you are the predator. Geese activity got you like, ooh, ooh, you think you're so tough. Develop your own language of spirit. Take a few minutes, sit by yourself, speak aloud to spirit, and come to agreement about what you think you want it to be, and watch spirit work. Watch how spirit go. Watch how spirit give you exactly what you wanted on a one-to-one return basis in a way that you didn't expect to. Something just crazy. I used to think about seeing feathers on the ground as a sign from spirit. So spirit, as a joke, used to send me whole sections where it looked like pigeons had been thrown on the ground in New York City. So it was like feathers, feathers, feathers. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It was like stomped on feathers, feathers, feathers. That used to make me laugh because it was like, spirit's like, you want a sign, eh? I used to see pennies. It starts all small. You can start small, pennies on the ground, feathers, chemtrails in the sky, birds, bird calls, spiders around the home, blinking lights, especially when they turn off and literally speak Morse code. I have to learn Morse code so I can speak to spirit nice, but I'm kidding. But those moments that you take with spirit are not in vain. They hear everything. They hear your requests. They hear what you want. And if you've had a request to be put around more like-minded people, there's a whole community and world out there for you. All you have to do is seek it out or ask for direct intervention. Remember, spirit is consent-based, so they need to be told directly that you need something, and don't be afraid to ask for it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. What a beautiful daily message, Spirit. If you enjoyed this daily message, I like to do one every day. Sometimes they run the gamut. Sometimes they can be pick a card readings, depending on what I feel called to do. I like to do 2 a day. That's really what I've been up to. And that's really been a wonderful exercise, not only practicing for my psychic gifts, but also practicing to speak to my collective, who are so funny and amazing and wonderful and send me the most wonderful comments. So I'm workshopping the name The Jersey Shore for our fan club, or maybe even Jersey Pride. So join the Jersey Pride if you want to. Leave a like or subscribe, or send this to someone who you think needs to hear this information today. And just remember, a hawk is the wolf among sheep. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.